venom. This barren landscape is home to some of the world's deadliest snakes. But there can only be one king. The mulga snake, otherwise known as the king brown. Measuring nearly 10 feet long, this large male is on the hunt. Out here, prey is scarce, so he does what he must to survive. Lording over his close relatives, Australia's largest venomous snake has developed a taste for reptilian flesh. He uses inside knowledge of his victims to gain an edge, such as knowing that reptiles need to bask in the sun to warm up. The mulga's flickering tongue has picked up a scent trail. He's locked onto a target and is relentless in his pursuit. Maintaining his focus, he's not distracted by the presence of nearby lizards. He's tracking a much more substantial meal. This is a western brown snake, one of the world's top 10 venomous snakes, and usually treated with healthy respect by most predators. But in addition to his own chemical weapons, the mulga also possesses chemical defenses. Within his biological arsenal, he carries a genetic resistance to snake venom. A bite from even the deadliest of snakes has little effect. So the western brown poses no threat. Sensing the peril, it attempts to flee. In desperation, it tries to conceal itself within a nearby hole, but the mulga uses his size and strength to block the only exit to what now becomes a tomb. To ensure a quick and efficient kill, the venom output of the mulga is higher than any other snake on Earth. As he devours his 5-foot-long meal, each chewing action delivers yet another dose of deadly toxins. A killer of killers, the mulga snake is a snake's worst nightmare. His name says it all. Like the mulga, the death adder is among the world's deadliest snakes. But rather than pursue his meals at top speed across the desert as the parenti does, he sits and hides and waits for his meals to come to him. The soft desert colours of the death adder's 2-foot-long body blend in perfectly with his arid surroundings. Lying motionless, his disconcerting eyes scan the horizon for potential victims. This wandering skink has no idea he's there. When it comes to launching his lethal attack, surprise is everything. For a successful kill, he needs to entice the skink to within optimum striking distance. Ever the swindler, this crafty desert con artist unveils a secret weapon. Slightly flattened and darker in colour, the tip of his tail seems to have a life of its own. When the snake twitches it, it looks just like a tasty, wriggling grub. This cunning optical illusion creates an irresistible honey trap for a hungry skink. But the curious skink remains just out of range. So cold and calculating, the Death Adder slowly moves the lure closer to his head. His trap is now set. Mesmerized, the skink succumbs to temptation. It's the fastest strike of all Australian snakes. A lethal dose of fast-acting neurotoxins delivers a swift end, leaving this clinical desert con artist to quietly devour his home-delivered meal. The creatures of the floodplains are under attack by a nasty intruder. The cane toad was introduced to Australia in the 1930s to control pests feeding on sugarcane. Unfortunately, the toads preferred to consume the native wildlife. Cane toads leave a bad taste in the mouths of would-be predators. So, they've been left to run rampant. This male is a gluttonous brute. If he can swallow it, he'll eat it. He hunts without grace or subtlety. Inside his mouth, glands coat the tongue in sticky fluid. The tongue flick lasts only 10 milliseconds. By depressing his eyeballs into his mouth palate, he forces the meal down. In these dangerous waters, most creatures as small as the toad keep a low profile. This brute, however, enjoys his meal out in the open. Because this toad is full of more than just swagger. His defense oozes from his skin. Glands behind his eyes secrete a deadly hallucinogenic toxin. Unwary attackers suffer a long, drawn-out death. Cane toads can live up to 15 years, and while adults tend to be thuggish loners, younger generations knock about in gangs. They swarm over the marshes, devouring anything in their path. While native creatures tend to give these toxic pests a wide berth, the young toads do have one wetland enemy. The keelback snake. Endemic to Australia, these snakes hunt toads, albeit with middling success. Keelback snakes carry a genetic tolerance to cane toad toxin, at least in small doses. This trait is inherited from ancestral keelbacks that evolved among toads in Asia. The smaller the toad, the fewer toxins it produces. But something's amiss. The toad is too big and the poison too strong. If the keelback had devoured the toad, it would have followed a multitude of native predators to an early grave.